Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Moeed Pirzada to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Moeed Pirzada's words.
My heart desires greatly that I find and present positive developments to you every day that would make your heart happy. I want to show you my view as well, so that your day passes with joy and happiness. But professionally speaking, it is neither possible for me, nor would it be appropriate for you. The harsh and painful realities of the world are something we must see, understand and feel, and it is through this that we move forward. Human progress and development come through this. Right now, with regards to the situation in Gaza, Palestine, the Muslim world, and especially the matter involving the US President Donald Trump's 20-point peace agenda, the developments are troubling and painful. This is a difficult and painful situation, and Pakistan is a part of it. Pakistan is one of the 8 Muslim countries whose foreign ministers have welcomed President Donald Trump's proposals and peace agenda. This has been noted with considerable surprise by both American and Israeli newspapers, because Pakistan, which used to be very cautious and distanced from such matters, has welcomed Trump's proposals with a wholehearted and positive approach. This development is one that must be approached with caution and careful consideration. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan, who is in Adiala jail, and the leaders of his party, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, will have to take a very measured stance on this situation, keeping in mind the best interests of Pakistan. I'll explain. My voice may not reach Imran Khan, but if somehow my advice can reach him, I would request him to think carefully and not take any position on this matter without proper deliberation. A politician must take positions in a cautious and restrained manner, where nothing is said openly or hastily. Imran Khan must approach this situation in that manner. Now, why is this situation so troubling? I will outline some important points regarding this matter. So far, reactions and responses to this proposal are coming from all over the world, from America, Israel, Europe, the Middle East, and from both governments and people alike. I will present a detailed analysis of that for you. But first, I will share a couple of interesting developments. One is that the federal government in Washington, D.C., where I am, has shut down. This shutdown happened because after midnight on the 1st of October, the finances of the federal government were cut off by the US Congress. This happened because there was no agreement between the Republican Party, led by President Trump, and the Democratic Party, primarily regarding health-related financing, Medicare, and other matters. This resulted in the failure to approve the financing. This shutdown happened before, in 2018 to 2019, during Trump's administration, over a dispute about funding for the wall to be built on the US-Mexico border. Back then, after 3 days, the Democrats made a compromise with the Republicans. However, according to the New York Times, it is unlikely that a compromise will be reached soon this time. This is because after 6 years, the Democratic Party has shifted further to the left and is now much more welfare-oriented. On the other hand, the Republican Party has become much more right-wing, with a staunch opposition to welfare programs. This indicates that the government shutdown may last a long time, and thousands of federal workers could be left unemployed as a result. This process has started today. Another interesting situation that has been widely discussed is that President Donald Trump and his Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, summoned senior American military commanders, generals and officers from the Navy, Air Force and Marines to a base in Virginia. These orders were issued suddenly, with only 2 or 3 days' notice. Trump and Hegseth gave a speech to them, and it was such a strange and controversial speech that, according to the New York Times, many senior officers are considering resigning. The Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, told the senior officers that the fighting capacity of the US military is not very impressive, and that their last significant victory on the battlefield was during World War II. Since then, the liberal values that have been incorporated into the military, such as the inclusion of women and new home sector roles, have reduced the army's ability to fight effectively. However, his proposal was that military officers need to lose weight, as many of them are overweight, have long hair, and lack proper discipline. Newspapers even noted that Pete Hegseth himself only has experience at the level of a major, and his experience is mainly with the National Guard, not in regular combat units. The only battle he saw up close was in Iraq 20 years ago, and even there he may not have had direct combat experience. President Trump also gave a speech at the base, and in it he emphasized that his political opponent Joe Biden was highly corrupt, and that even his son was corrupt. He also criticized the media for treating him unfairly and said that social media was even worse. He further stated that despite the challenges, he had done a lot of work for peace, and he should have won the Nobel Peace Prize a long time ago. Now, moving to the serious developments related to the Middle East, the Muslim world, and Donald Trump's 20-point agenda. There has been a massive reaction to this proposal, both inside the US and abroad, from Israel, Europe, and the Muslim world. This proposal has largely been welcomed because it is seen as a potential solution to the ongoing violence in Gaza. If the Hamas leadership accepts these proposals and Israel implements them, it could stop the bloodshed in Gaza. Both American and Israeli newspapers have noted this shift, and it is surprising because for the first time, 8 Muslim countries, including Pakistan, have welcomed Donald Trump's proposals, with only minor reservations. Israel's Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, has reportedly gained everything he wanted from this 20-point proposal. This proposal aligns largely with Netanyahu's own demands, which is remarkable given how isolated he has become on the global stage. European governments have often criticized him, and now Trump's administration has made this proposal their own. This is a critical moment, and the developments happening are both fascinating and concerning. The world is watching these events unfold closely, as the future of Palestine, Israel, and the Middle East seems to hinge on these decisions. Now, the implications of this, as I told you earlier, are such that the situation right now has implications for Pakistan and for Imran Khan as well. I will mention this below. Donald Trump has warned Hamas that if they do not accept this proposal within 3 to 4 days, Israel will have a free hand, and Israel can deal with them in whatever way they wish. So far, Hamas has neither accepted nor rejected this proposal. Initially, this proposal was not even with Hamas until Monday. Likely on Tuesday or late Monday night, Turkey and Qatar sent this 20-point agenda to Hamas, and Hamas's official stance so far is that they are seriously and responsibly studying this proposal. Some media outlets, like CBS, have claimed that Hamas will likely accept this proposal. Many other headlines suggest that Hamas has no other options at this moment and is under immense pressure, both from Donald Trump and from Turkey, Qatar, and Egypt. Just to clarify, I mistakenly mentioned the United Arab Emirates. I meant Egypt. These countries are pressuring Hamas to accept the proposal. On the other hand, the Palestinian faction led by Islamic Jihad, which is at the forefront, has almost completely rejected the proposal. They argue that this proposal is just another version of the old proposals and would only lead to total instability and disaster in the Middle East. If this proposal is accepted, the situation in the region would only worsen and result in further destruction and instability. This is the viewpoint of Islamic Jihad. Hamas has not yet taken a clear stance, as I mentioned. The Islamic Jihad's argument holds considerable weight. Although Islamic Jihad is a known militant terrorist organization, they are making a valid point because this proposal lacks a clear mechanism. There is no clarity in the proposal about how Israel will withdraw, when it will happen, or what the timeline is. What kind of administration will be set up in the interim? Moreover, the so-called Peace Board, headed by Donald Trump, with Tony Blair and Israel's role in it, has no clear explanation of how these different parties will cooperate. It is also unclear how the Palestinian state will be formed, as there is no clear roadmap for it. Even the foreign ministers of the 8 Muslim countries, including Pakistan, have raised concerns about the lack of a clear roadmap for Palestinian statehood. The major left-wing Israeli newspaper Haaretz has analysed that Netanyahu still wants this proposal to fail. Inside Netanyahu's heart, there is a desire to create a situation where Hamas rejects this proposal, giving Netanyahu a free hand to militarily eliminate Hamas, as Donald Trump has stated. This is what Netanyahu reportedly wants, according to the paper. Hamas is under significant pressure right now. There is a big question about whether Hamas will disarm. So far, Hamas has indicated that they are not in the mood to disarm, throw away their weapons, or surrender. Now, there is talk of an Islamic stabilization force, in which perhaps Pakistan may also participate. The question remains whether this Muslim force would be used by Israel and the United States to disarm Hamas. If, God forbid, that happens, it will be another tragedy for the Muslim world. One development in this situation is that the Arabs have successfully pressured the United States president to add a clause stating that 250 Palestinians held in Israeli jails could be released if 20 live hostages are freed. This addition has been agreed upon by Israel. In the context of all this, it is important to consider the European flotilla, which is nearing Israel's waters. It has reached the point where previous flotillas were stopped by Israel. Just hours ago, members of the flotilla reported that many unidentified Israeli gunboats were harassing them, chasing them, and attempting to intimidate them. The Israeli military has not commented on this, but Spanish and Italian naval ships are present to provide protection. Spanish and Italian ships have stated they will not join Israel's official forces, as it would put them in a warlike situation. However, if a rescue mission is necessary, Spain and Italy are prepared to assist. This is a situation Israeli newspapers are watching closely, as they fear that an incident with the flotilla could endanger Donald Trump's peace proposal. Now, let's come to Pakistan, where I want to briefly comment on what Ali Amin Gandapur did or said about Imran Khan. He went to say that Ali Khan seems to be an MI agent, and I informed Imran Khan that, based on my knowledge, MI is facilitating Ali Khan in this entire process. I felt it was my duty to warn him about what was happening. In fact, Ali Amin Gandapur did Ali Khan a favour, because before this, many people had doubts about her, including Hafizullah Niaz's columns. While I had not openly spoken about it, many people were suspicious that perhaps Ali Khan was collaborating with the ISI against Imran Khan, and even harboured leadership aspirations herself. However, once ISI used this asset against her and accused her of being an MI agent, the whole plot to make her controversial backfired and was exposed. It became clear what the real agenda was. I believe from this point onward, Ali Khan should thank Ali Amin Gandapur for exposing the entire ISI plot. When you are too clever, you expose yourself. As for Gandapur's video, where he declared that Imran Khan is my leader and I had to inform him, I listened to it very carefully. After watching the video, I'm now certain that many of those who had doubts about Ali Khan will have their doubts cleared. Gandapur has badly exposed himself and his mentors, but this is a side issue. Imran Khan, who has always been a beloved figure in the international world, now faces a very significant challenge. I know this may upset many of Imran Khan's supporters, but I must say this. It's important because Imran Khan has paid a heavy price for it. He didn't fully understand the role the army plays in domestic politics. Many people have said this. However, what he failed to grasp were the complexities of the international and regional order, especially South Asia's dynamics and how Pakistan's sovereignty has been shaped by external support. Every Pakistani government has relied on external help to stay in power. Imran Khan did not fully understand these complexities, and had he done so, the history of his government and subsequent years might have unfolded differently. Now, with the Abraham Accords and the ongoing situation, as the current Pakistani government uses external legitimacy to cover its internal illegitimacy, Imran Khan must be extremely cautious in taking any position in this matter. He needs to move away from his traditional impulsive approach and adopt a more measured political stance. It is essential that he does not take a black-and-white position just to appease his supporters, which could ultimately harm his best interests. He must recognize that this is a very complex situation, and as a politician with a possible future, he should act cautiously and responsibly. At this stage, his position should be such that he acknowledges the complexity of the issue. He should express that he does not have the complete picture while in jail, and once he's out, he will better understand the situation after speaking with Muslim leaders and other international actors. It is critical that Imran Khan positions himself wisely, because the decisions should be in favor of Palestinians and the Muslim world. There needs to be peace, and he should be very careful with his stance. I understand that he has a tendency to speak before thinking, but he must adapt to a more diplomatic approach now. This is a very difficult situation, but these are the decisions that need to be made carefully.
That wraps up our translation of Moeed Pirzada's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share, and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.